Hi, Dave.
Hi, Alexi. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. So can you tell us a few words about yourself and about the tool you're going to show us?
Yeah, so my name's Dave, and I work for a company called InfuseAI. We're an MLOps platform provider out of Taiwan. And we make a software called PrimeHub, which is an open source MLOps, end-to-end MLOps platform. But today I'll be talking about something we've kind of broken out of our main product, and that's called Crane. But in InfuseAI, my role I'm a tech advocate. My role is could be anything from helping customers with issues to translating customer issues into product features and helping the development team understand more about how customers are using the product. And then internally, I work on documentation, stuff like that, and also promote tools like the one I'm going to introduce today, which is Crane. So Crane is an image building. It's a small app. It's a simple app, but we think it's a useful app. It's for building and expanding on images and adding packages and then pushing those images up to Docker. Now, Crane used to be part of our main software, PrimeHub. We had an image builder feature built into PrimeHub, but our developers at InfuseAI wanted to experiment more with that feature, kind of play with it, add more features, mess around with it without affecting the stability of our main software. So that's how Crane was born. Now I say it's come out of our main software, but you don't have to be a PrimeHub user to enjoy it. It's a standalone piece of software. You can use it, by itself to build images and mess with your own images. But if you are a PrimeHub user, then it integrates into our other software. So yeah, it's build images, expand on images, add software, push it to Docker. A very simple kind of concept, but we think it's useful.
Mm-hmm. Docker images, right? Not pictures.
Yeah.
Dockets.
Right. Yeah. Docker images. Sorry, container images. Yeah.
Okay. You have a demo for us, right?
Yes, I do. Let me see if I can share my screen with you. Okay. So hopefully, can you see my screen, Alexi?
I can see your screen. Yes.
Okay, great. So when you first open Crane, this is the first page you'll see. This is the build a new image screen. So this is where all the fun happens, but let me quickly show you the settings screen. So in here, you can see I've already logged into my Docker Hub account. And as I'm a PrimeHub user, I'm logged into PrimeHub here as well. So let me go back to the build image screen. So as I say, it's very simple, but we think it's useful. So you can basically take a base image and then add some software and push that up to your Docker account. So I'll use my my account here, and I'll just do an Ubuntu image here, and we do have some built-in images here, base images. These are images that our developers have created for launching Jupyter notebooks and stuff like that. But for the purposes of this demo, I'm just going to use the Ubuntu image because it's very small, and we can probably build it right during the demo without waiting too long. So I can put some basic packages in here, just some stuff maybe that we might find useful. I want to install some packages, so I'll put pip in here. So depending on the base image you're using, you'll be able to add software the correct package manager that you wanted to add. So so I'm using Ubuntu as the base image. I've added some software, and then when I click build, the console should pop up and show us the process, the log file for building the image. So let's do that now. Hopefully it's not too fast. It might be cached because I did this earlier, but it looks like not.
So what's happening under the hood? So you take.
So right, yeah. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, you take all this apt and then you convert it to lines of your Docker file, right?
Yeah, so it's basically it's in place of using a Docker file, which I'll get to a bit later. So you can see now it's kind of pulled the Ubuntu image down. We're adding the packages that I just specified. It shouldn't take long. Here's the last one. Right, so the package, the image container has been built. So now we're dumped over on the local repositories page here. These are all the local images that I've been working on. You can see remote here as well. Because I'm logged into Docker Hub, we can also see the remote images in this list as well. But back over on local, if I want to push this up to Docker, all I need to do now is click push, and then that's going to prepare that image and push it up to Docker.
That's
That
cool.
should. Yeah, now you're probably wondering, could we do this in a Docker file and use Docker on the terminal? And yes, the answer is yes, but we kind of, we target this as people who maybe they don't know Docker, they don't want to learn Dockerfile, or maybe, the GUI is just so convenient. Even people who know Docker might want to just quickly open the GUI, make some adjustments to an image and push it up to their account. So that should be done.
Can I see the Docker file? The actual Docker file that it created? Like, is it an option to see it?
Not at the moment in Crane, no. So, I mean, I do have, obviously to use this, you need to have Docker installed locally. So I do have Docker here. So you could open the Docker app and then look there. But, there's a lot of features coming down the line. This is a version, 1.0. So feature wise, we're kind of, MVP at the moment, minimal viable feature set. So, so if we go over to remote now, you'll see that, well, let me refresh, reload the page. All right, so there's the image that I just pushed to Docker. So I mentioned, it came out of our PrimeHub software. So if you're already a PrimeHub user, you don't need to be, as I mentioned, but if you are, then you now have the ability to add this into PrimeHub just by clicking on the image that you want to push, clicking on the add button here, and then you have total access to your PrimeHub account from inside of Crane. So it's not a requirement, but if you are a PrimeHub user, then you can do that right from inside of Crane. So I'll just quickly expand my screen here over to show, get this out of the way. Hopefully I can pull this. So I'll move this over and show you. This is inside PrimeHub now. So if I go into the images section here, we should see the image that I just pushed. So right, no, it's not the right one, is it? So, oh yeah, that's the one, the top one there. So test image, this is the image that I just pushed over from. And then if I was a PrimeHub user, I could launch a Jupyter notebook based on that image. So depending on your use case, the software, is going to be useful as a standalone software for editing images, pushing them to Docker, using it how you want to use it, or if you are a PrimeHub user, you can integrate into your existing account in PrimeHub. But I need to emphasize, you don't need to be a PrimeHub user. It's useful as a standalone product.
How to run the Crane? Like if I want to run it locally, what do I do?
Right, so you need Docker installed first. That's the only prerequisite. And then if you go to our GitHub page, we have binaries available for Windows and Mac OS, or you can download the source and compile it yourself. So it's open source, so you can edit it, change it how you see fit. We've actually seen 4 people fork it already, so hopefully people are finding it useful and already adapting it to their needs.
And the use case I have in mind, usually for data science projects, is
right.
You install all these dependencies, right? So you always have this apt get install something, right? So that's the first line.
Right.
In Dockerfiles, then pip install something, right? You have your requirements 60, or well, lately I mostly use pipenv, but that doesn't matter. But then also one of the steps is you actually copy your Python files, your application there, right?
If you mean for model training?
Yeah, for model training or deployment or whatever, right?
Right. So yeah, if you for PrimeHub on that side of things, if you were using our MLOps software, then yes, you can when you launch you can make an image in PrimeHub and then specify a model file and do a model deployment in there. But we do see it as something that the open source community is going to use, and not specifically people who are related to our product. But the benefit of it being being born out of our main product is that we have a team of developers who are working on it, and we want people in the open source community to use it, and also our customers to use it. So it's something that we're not just going to throw out there and then forget about. It's people we want people, our customers, to use it, so you know it's going to be supported in the long run.
Okay. Why Crane?
Why Crane? Why the name Crane? Well, because Crane and Docker, you know, it's very, I think there's a Taiwanese meaning behind, you know, I said we're based in Taiwan. I think there's a kind of a double meaning to Crane in Taiwanese, but I'm not quite sure what that means. So I don't want to
And crane
suppose
is
about that.
it's not only an animal, it's also like, I think that
Yeah,
you
for
know.
lifting, that's the, yeah,
Right,
lifting
right.
the containers. Yeah, but I think there's also a double meaning with the word that describes the bird crane in Taiwanese, but I need to ask my colleagues about that.
Okay. Yeah, interesting. Now, how many people are working on this?
So we have a team. It's about, developer-wise, about 4 people, 4 developers, and we have a couple of other people helping with promotion, stuff like that. So about 6 people total, I think.
And what are your plans? What are the next steps with Crane?
Well, obviously, I just mentioned Docker containers, so you're probably going to think, you know, we want other repositories in this. So the next thing is going to be Amazon ECR. That's probably the next on the list. And then right now, you know, the feature-wise, as you mentioned, you know, can I see this container? And right now you can only list local and remote images, container images. So we want more features built, you know, to manage the images more from inside Crane. So those are the 2 things we want to focus on next.
Yeah, nice. And how, if somebody wants to contribute, how do they do this?
Yeah, so we're on GitHub, and we're, you know, it's open source, Apache license. So we're open to pull requests. People can go on there. You know, if there's a bug report, please submit a bug report on GitHub. Make a pull request. If you want to just chat about it, we're open to that. We have a Discord, so I'll give you the link after we chat. Welcome for anyone to come in, give their feedback. We're open to feedback. So it's the products, you know, it's quite new. We've only been out a couple of weeks now, and our, you know, customers are only just starting to use it. We've only just seen a couple of forks in GitHub and stuff. So we're open to feedback. We want customers to tell us or users, you know, any users to tell us how they're finding it useful, any bugs, any issues. We're open to it. You know, tell us what you want, basically.
Oh, by the way, so thinking, I was thinking about this. So you can, of course, run it locally, but is there a version, like a managed version, deployed somewhere that you don't, you know, need to set up the whole thing on your laptop?
No, currently, no. Well, originally we had the image builder software built into PrimeHub, but on the latest version of our software that was taken out, and now Crane is what we'd like our customers and also everybody else to enjoy. So currently it's not available online to use. It's only available as the downloadable app.
Okay, so for now, you still need to be able to install Docker to be able to use this thing. Right?
Yes, you would need Docker locally on your machine. Yeah, that's a prerequisite.
Yeah, because I'm running a course right now about machine learning, and one of the modules there is about deployment. And quite a few students have problems with actually installing the whole thing on their in their setting up the environment.
Well, let me give some feedback to the developers and see. That's a good use case. Yeah. So this is the kind of thing we want to know, how people would want to use it and how they are using it. That's great. Okay,
I imagine that it could be a good use case is that people who for some reasons they are not able to install Docker easily on their computers. Maybe it's Windows, and you know, in Windows it's not that easy. But being able to quickly set up to create an image with the dependencies they need is probably useful. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for anyone who's watching this? Yes.
So first thing is obviously contribute to open source. That's a given. That's obvious. Yeah, I think everybody who watches this show is probably going to be a maker. They're making things or enjoying, you know, being developers and stuff like that. So I'd say, you know, do what scratches your itch. You know, it's too often said, but if you're not enjoying what you're doing, then you might be doing the wrong thing. You know, we all have to do things we don't like to do, but generally, if you're not doing what you enjoy. Life-wise, we know we're based out of Taiwan. I'm living in Taiwan, so 15 years ago, I made a big life choice to move to Taiwan, and that was, change my life, change the course of my life where I am now. So I would say sometimes, follow your heart and see where you end up. Don't be afraid to do that, because I'm really happy with the position I'm in now and what I'm doing with my life and my family and stuff. So yeah, follow your heart, I guess, would be a life life lesson.
Thanks for sharing that, and thanks for
It's
doing the
okay.
demo. Thanks for showing us.
No problem.
No,
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Do you want to say anything else before we wrap up?
No, that's it. I mean, all I'd say was, if you enjoy Crane, let us know what you feel about it, give you feedback. And if you're in the market for an MLOps platform, we have an end-to-end MLOps platform. There's a community edition, which is open source, feel free to install that. And then enterprise-wise, we have the enterprise edition as well for paying customers. So please take a look at our software if you're interested in an MLOps platform.
Maybe I should invite you for another demo.
Yeah, I could show off the
the
community edition.
Yeah, right. Okay, let's spawn something.
Awesome.
Okay, thanks for the interview. I guess that's it.